Holy crap, you guys. Day 29 of 31 days of NaNoWriMo Prep. 2 more days and we'll be diving headfirst into NaNoWriMo. Make sure you're totally ready by watching the playlist of this series if you haven't already, which I will link to up in the cards and down in the description. And also in the description, I'll link to the corresponding blog post. So if you're more of a visual learner than an auditory one, you learn better by reading information, then you can go over there and learn everything that I'm talking about here. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Leighton, you haven't ever gotten an agent, and you aren't even traditionally publishing your book. What could you possibly know about finding a literary agent? And I'll admit, you make a good point. What do I know about finding a literary agent? Well, the thing is, at one point I actually was planning on traditionally publishing the Caspian Chronicles, The Forbidden Prophecy. And during that time, I did extensive research about finding an agent, and I even queried one. Don't make all of that research futile. Take my wisdom and run with it. Please. It's my dying wish. So what is a literary agent? A literary agent is a person who represents your book for a percentage of your future earnings and helps you workshop your novel before shopping it around to publishers. I want to make it absolutely clear that an agent takes a percentage of your future earnings. This means you do not and should not, under any circumstances, pay an agent outright. If they ask for an upfront payment, they are a scam. Instead, they should ask you to sign a contract with them that states that whatever advance and royalties the publishing company gives you for your book, they take 10 to 15% of that for themselves. So if you get a $10,000 advance, they get 10 to 15% of that. And if you get 10% royalties, then they get 10 to 15% of that 10%. So let's say that you agree to the agent getting 15%. In this scenario, you'd then receive $8,500 of the advance and 8.5% in royalties. Naturally, after seeing these numbers, I'm sure your next question is, do I even need a literary agent? I mean, if you're planning on self-publishing, then no, you do not. If you're planning on traditionally publishing though, having a literary agent really is your best bet at getting your novel published. Sure, there are some authors whose manuscripts have been picked out of the slush pile at a publishing house without the help of an agent. But the chances of this actually happening are very, very slim. Where do you find a literary agent then? The best place to look is the internet. Just do a Google search and make sure you keep an eye out for scams. Do your research before you query an agent. You can also look in the acknowledgments of books for the names of published authors' agents. I'd recommend looking in the acknowledgments of books in the same genre as your novel because that probably means that agent is willing to represent books in that genre. Which leads me to another point. How to find an agent that's right for you. After all, not all agents will be open to representing your novel's genre or target audience. Not all agents represent young adult fiction, and some prefer fantasy over contemporary or mystery over sci-fi. The good news is that all agents list the types of genres they're looking to represent, which they call a wish list. Check out the agency's website because most literary agents are a part of a larger agency, and find the agent's personal profile. Once you know that an agent is looking to represent a novel like yours, you'll need to query them, something we'll be talking about in detail tomorrow. Keep in mind that if your novel is rejected by one or more agents, that doesn't mean that your novel is bad. Rejection is, unfortunately, a part of being an author, traditionally published or otherwise. Even J.K. Rowling's manuscript of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's or Philosopher's Stone was rejected many times. So don't let it get you down. After your 5th rejection, you may consider looking over your manuscript to see if there's anything fundamental that you might be able to fix to make it more desirable, but for the most part, you'll just need to keep submitting. If worst comes to worst, you may have to set that manuscript aside and work on another one to submit. Whatever you do, just don't give up. If you work hard, you'll get a novel published. And you can always self-publish if you really want to get your novel out there. And what about your next novel? Do you have to find a new agent, or can you keep the one that represented your last book? Well, if you're happy with your agent and they're both happy with you and represent the genres of your subsequent books, then odds are you can stay with them. However, if they weren't able to get your novel published anywhere, they probably won't be willing to take another chance on you. In that case, you'll have to move on to a new agent and hope that your next novel is able to be picked up by a publisher. If things did work out the first time around though, you may still have to query the agent for future books. It really depends on the agent. But you'll probably be at the top of their list. If you publish a bestseller, they'll probably never want to let you go, so there's a best case scenario that you can shoot for. Trust me, looking into literary agents can be a bit scary and overwhelming, but my recommendation is to dream big. Find your dream agent and query them, even if you're afraid that they won't like your manuscript. So long as they're looking to represent a novel like yours, of course. You never know what'll happen until you try. I'd also recommend, though, that you query some associate agents and junior agents, because odds are they're just starting out in their careers and looking to build their client list. This means it'll be easier to be picked up by them because they don't already have a full client list. Plus, they'll probably give you more attention than a big name agent with big name clients would give you. Just because I didn't choose to traditionally publish my debut novel, that doesn't mean that I think there's anything wrong with traditional publishing or with literary agents. In fact, if I could still have one traditional thing as a self-published author, it would be a literary agent. I wish I could have someone like that who would workshop my novel with me and help me navigate the murky waters of publishing a book. But alas, when you choose one path, you lose the chance at the good things another path might give you. Still, someday I may traditionally publish a book or two, and if that day comes, I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with an agent. And like I mentioned, tomorrow for day 30, we'll be discussing how to query an agent, so stay tuned for that. I'll hopefully see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, make sure to check out all of my social medias. I have Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, which are all linked in the description below. Also linked in the description below is my personal blog, readwritelovefiction.com, where not only do I post the corresponding blog posts to these videos, but I also talk about my writing experience a little bit more, and I'll definitely be picking back up with those types of blogs once this month is over. So if you're interested in kind of a behind-the-scenes look of my brain while I'm writing my novel, then you should go and check it out. You should also go and check out my official author website, LeightonJWilliams.com, which is the first place I'll be posting any updates or big reveals about my series, The Caspian Chronicles. So if you want to be the first to know anything like really cool, that's where you should go. And finally, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!